Hello everyone, I'm Speed2 and welcome to another cast. This one is gonna be a custom 1v1 match between the Red Viper and Slowpoke, also known as Washi, and we are on Sirtis Major. It's the 2v2 version of the map, the one that is in ladder I believe, and I think I've seen much more 1v1 games on this one than 2v2, but it's definitely an option to play 2v2 against this on this map. So to quickly introduce the map, pretty much the main concerns are the civilians in the middle, Quantum Gateway protected by 2 T1 PDs and 1 flag. So definitely something you might get. It can boost your eco quite nicely, but you also have to prepare for it. If you're going to get the mass, you should have enough courage to reclaim it all, or enough power to actually use the mass. So that's one thing to look at. And then another important reclaim is all the rocks that are around this hill, and they are pretty much around every hill that you can see. So in the back, everywhere, also around this hill, and in the corners, pretty much the same. So you can use it to boost your early eco, especially reclaim this rock, since you have only 4 maxes or 5 30 maxes, and for every other max you need to expand. So it takes time to take them, and so you wanna use all the mass available. And one way to do that is with factory attack move, and that's what we're seeing from Red Viper. And the other way would be manual reclaim, and that's what Slowpoke is doing. So generally manual reclaim will give you much more mass, since you will reclaim it faster, but especially on this map it's a bit harder to see all those rocks and click on them. So depends on you if you want to spend time finding all those rocks and clicking on it, and you can actually miss quite a lot of them. So I would go just with normal attack move as Red Viper did, and that would be enough for me. So it looks like early flare from Slowpoke, and he will try to catch up these NGs that are expanding, and so far no protection from Red Viper. Now the 1 Mantis is coming, but it might be too late. At least this NG might get killed, maybe 2 if Slowpoke is lucky. Maybe instead of last NG, build the Mantis to protect these expanding NGs faster, since if you're going for really early expansion and you lose them both, that can set you really behind. Because as on the other side we can see that Slowpoke was a bit more reclaiming manually, so he got the mass, and he's going for this expansion, which is a bit safer. It's easier to protect than NGs that are going down for this expansion, and he's gonna use some more reclaim on this NG and not go directly for this expansion. He give up attack move for now, and most likely gonna take these 2 maxes with that. So on the top, the flare was actually useful. One of the NGs got killed, but the other one survived, so Red Viper might be able to get this expansion without any problem, since there are no other raiding units yet. And Red Viper is also a bit faster building factories. Already built 2 factories with the AC on top, and gonna build 3rd, which is most likely gonna be used to build artillery and get in the middle and get the mass. And already have a raiding group ready, and he's gonna use it only to Rush against it, so it shouldn't be a problem. But so far there's nothing to raid at this position, but he can always go for these maxes. Or one thing you can do, if you manage to secure this position at the beginning, you can go for early transport and just throw 6 NGs to this position and take it for yourself. So that will wait that you will easily secure this side, these maxes, all the reclaim that is around the hill, those 2 maxes, and you will fight over this expansion. But if you put some PD here and few factories, like 2-3 factories and some reinforcement units. It's not that easy, it's not that hard to actually defend it, or you can at least slow your opponent down quite a lot. So the mantis are coming, the two, now only one aura will not be enough to defend it. So I guess this NG needs to build a factory, and maybe not over here, but slightly to the back, since most likely this mantis will try to raid all this position and he will split them, since he's experienced player, so he will split them to those mexes and to do maximum damage. Looks like early air in favor for TheRedViper, but nothing major, just 2 intis for now, and he's not really focusing on that. Few idle NGs, I guess he could use some of them to reclaim this thing faster, these rocks, and the rest sent on the top, since there is not that many reclaim. So you wanna split them or build additional factories. Looks like he's gonna go for another air factory. And now using 4 NGs to build these maxes and PDs, I guess 1 NG for the max or 2 would be enough. Then with the PDs, another NG could reclaim all these buildings. Those actually give quite a bit of mass, so definitely worth reclaiming. On this side, Slowpoke could do pretty much the same. On the eco side, looks like we have a T2 max for Slowpoke, and TheRedViper not really yet, and I don't think he would upgrade some expanding maxes first. So let's look at his eco. Looks like he needs more energy. He built another air factory, but that drains a bit too much energy for now, and 4 NGs on energy spam, so they should be okay for now. Maybe he needs to pass one of the air factories. Okay, so on this side he won't be able to raid it, but he has scouts, so he knows what's coming. He can send just enough reinforcements, and he actually didn't scout there for a few minutes, since there is already a T2 that he does not see and some additional factories. Now he can see that there's already ACU in the middle, or at least the artillery, so ACU will follow. So he needs to send his own ACU, and maybe if he is lucky he could arrive just in time when Slowpoke will kill this quantum gate, so he will just come, suck the mass and retreat. And on the expansion you can see these mantis were quite annoying. They got few kills, this NG got killed. He still has air control over this position, but now flak is coming. Looks like a bit too much flak, and yeah, that's exactly what Slowpoke is talking about, but at least he will secure air if TheRedViper is flying over this position. And you can see that he successfully denied this position for quite a long time, so now he's gonna have advantage over these extra maxes that Slowpoke does not have. But he kind of forgot about the middle. Since he had so much air, he could use one interceptor if he was busy with the scout to see what Slowpoke has there and get the reclaim, since there's really nothing to be afraid of, like 3 artilleries and the ACU. He has much more artillery, and Aeon artillery is easy to dodge, and looks like Slowpoke is gonna get most of it. But he does not really have enough energy to use the mass, and I think that's just because he stopped building energy, and this is not enough P-gens. You can see the energy difference is huge between these two players. Almost, it is double energy income from TheRedViper, and Slowpoke as an Aeon really needs the energy, since Obsidians are only good with the shields. And also that means no more air, and Auroras are quite vulnerable against bombers, so he forgot to build energy, and now he got the mass from the middle, but he can't really use it right now, since he has no energy. And those obsidians are not quite that deadly as they could be, so looks like he's switching to blazes for now, or at least he built one. I guess he's not really switching for blaze, still building obsidians, I would say. Yeah, but he definitely needs more energy, and T2 PGen will take quite a long time to build since he already does not have energy, even with post air, so he needs to put everything on it. Maybe I would build a few more T1 PGens before going T2 since that's really not enough energy, so that's another advantage for TheRedViper. The score might be misleading since Slowpoke killed the Quantum Gate in the middle, but still other things to reclaim. T1 PD, I think it is T1 PD, and those buildings still give a bit of mass, so I would definitely go for them. Actually there are some blazes, so he was mixing it with obsidians, so it's not gonna be that bad that he does not have enough energy. You can see blazes are not the best units against the PD with walls. So actually these two PDs managing to defend this position, but if they win there are already some rhinos. And T2 PGen done for TheRedViper, so he could go air heavily, and he's gonna go for T2 air and also some additional T1 air factories. Looks like he's quite in good shape. He might be thinking about some mass destructor upgrades, since I can see some are already paused. So he might be going for that really soon. So far just looks like T1 units, one first Rhino coming right now. But that's still not an issue since this Rhinos does not have shields really. So if TheRedViper sees that, he can abuse it and just kill this force easily. Looks like he's gonna go raiding with the Jester. And some drop from Slowpoke. He cleaned his position. And Flag is too slow to shoot down the Jester. And there's enough units to defend, I would say, and there's always the PD. Quite a lot of artillery, so that will deny any range advantage that Slowpoke could have. But quite nice drop in the back of the base. And I think TheRedViper really needs a bit more scouting since he doesn't really scout this area for a long time, but he has enough air, so he does not need to know what's coming for him, and since he's not scouting, he doesn't see that Slowpoke does not really have energy, because if he scouted he could suspect that from the no pigeons build, and now the T2. And also, since he's going for T2 air, and if you're not really thinking about ACU snipe, you can always use Corsairs to snipe the pigeons. And if you snipe the pigeon that is so important for a Slowpoke like this one, it can really help you a lot, maybe win a game easily. But looks like Slowpoke is even worse with the scouting. This almost looks like he didn't send a single scout. I guess he just believes in his mind reading skills. So that's okay if you know how to do it. You can go with that, but I would definitely scout. And more T2 units. Additionally, factories upgraded to T2. And maybe TheRedViper could use a bit more eco from the beginning, since he was getting the mass. He got this extra expansion and looks like he reclaimed it, so he could have afforded to go for some T2 excess. He had enough energy for that. Now he has a bit too much energy, so additional T2 regen is not really necessary. Maybe even like control KD's T1 pigeons and rely on T2 power. That would be also option for him, since only way to kill his power are pretty much the units. From air I don't see any threat from Slowpoke. Oh, that's one way to do that. And now he needs, and these obsidians actually are a bit dangerous, since Slowpoke managed to get his power back online, so they clean this position. And since Slowpoke was ecoing from the beginning, he now has actually more mass. And maybe some drops from TheRedViper would be also nice, like load few of these units and drop them to the bottom, so Slowpoke needs to split his units. And since he also didn't have air and still doesn't have air, just few intis over here, but much more for TheRedViper, he can even drop on this position just few tanks, or one T2 tanks would be enough to kill those maxes, then maybe try to retreat or run somewhere else with it. So TheRedViper could really use the air advantage, also Corsairs for sniping T2 P-gens, that's always a good choice. There is a gun upgrade for Slowpoke. I'm not sure how useful is that gonna be, since there are already Jesters and Corsairs being built. But TheRedViper really too much energy and not enough mass, so finally he paused his energy production, but he could still afford to control K the T1 P-gens and reclaim them. This would be 400 power less and much more mass that he could turn into T2 maxes and fix his eco problems. So for now he's defending, and maybe at this point I would stop the T1 units, maybe just few artilleries, but for me this would be a bit too much, but I guess with enough radar it works against Aeon, so why not? I would have much more T2 units and less artillery, since even these units can dodge a bit of the artillery. As you can see, if he's changing direction, this artillery does not hit every time, but the Rhino can hit easily. And instead of attacking this way, he could just drop quite a bit of those units, and finally he's sniping the power, and he killed all the T2 P-gens and also some of the T1s, and as you can see for Slowpoke it's really bad, so it's almost a game over. He has almost no energy at all, so even the gun ACU is useless since no overcharges, and he can't really build any more air, so TheRedViper could easily win air and just build additional Corsairs and kill these P-gens that are being constructed and win the game with that. This is quite nice from Slowpoke. He lost 2 P-gens, he started rebuilding both, but he's reclaiming one, so he's getting the resources from it. So that's giving him the energy to finish this one, and it is much faster than just wait for it. As you can see, it takes too much time, so he could even, well, he does not have any more to do the trick, but it helped him to get this P-gen faster. So definitely good trick you wanna use if you lose your energy. So TheRedViper is going for more gunships and now for T2 transport, but really what he should do right now is just build another 2 or 3 Corsairs and snipe the power again, since there can't be any shield for Slowpoke right now, and Corsairs always get one pass, and he could win air if he wanted to, unless he would fly over some flag. So Slowpoke being annoying even with no energy, dropping units in the back. Might be able to kill this max if TheRedViper is not paying attention, and even this transport going all the way around without TheRedViper noticing, so sometimes it's nice to have a T1 radar in your base to see what's going on there, so you don't miss things like this. So now the ACU is here, but no overcharge, even no storage, so he couldn't overcharge anyway. But as you can see, still some energy issues, and he can just hope that he will manage to get the shield before some more Corsairs come, if there are coming some. It looks like TheRedViper is not really using this advantage. He's gonna drop NGs with T2 transport here to get it faster, that's nice. Also taking up these maxes. So just because he let Slowpoke rebuild his energy again, and he lost this expansion, so now he's actually behind in mass, and now with shield these pigeons are gonna be protected, and there's gonna be a T3 land for Slowpoke, so he can start pumping on Harbingers and do some damage. But looks like TheRedViper saw that and he's going for T3 himself. And still these buildings are not being reclaimed, also these. They do give some advantage, so definitely reclaim them if you have a chance. And also some of the reclaim here, but yeah, nothing that could kill the NG. Looks like TheRedViper just forgot about it. But he's gonna rebuild those maxes now, so it's fine. Like another T2 pigeon is gonna get finished, but still too much power, so it's a bit useless. And quite a lot of units on the left side actually, and since he's still mastering and having too much energy, he can use the air maybe, but I think Slowpoke did put anti-air. Yeah, he has one flag, which is not too much, and that got sniped right now, so he can use air against these units. And Slowpoke still quite a lot of mass, so he's building actually storages, and he can definitely afford it. Maybe he could even upgrade those maxes in the middle, since he didn't need to fight over them really. Now the T2 gunships arrived, and that's gonna be bad for all those T1 units, since they have really nice splash, and also I would say enough T2 units to defend this push, and then plus some additional T1 PDs, so really nowhere to push through this. And now he's gonna take up these maxes, and first Harbingers are gonna go to the bottom, which is a good choice, since there's really no way to push right now over the top, too much air, he needs anti-air there first. Maybe what he could try to do is another drop, since he was already successful with the sneaky drops all around the map. He could load, does he have T2 air? Not yet, so if he get a T2 air, get a T2 transport, he could load 2 bricks, go again this route and drop next to those T2 pigeons. That's always a nice target, but it wouldn't hurt TheRedViper that much since he's still wasting too much power. But usually it's a good way how to use your units. Killing power is always a good choice. And he dropped Harbinger here to protect the max, but it survives with 10 HP. And Hero Interceptor killing Corsair, and Corsair can't do anything about it. Funny. Maybe now? Yeah, now. Not the best anti-air, as you can see. And with the Harbingers, there should be advantage for Slowpoke, so he should be able to win this fight. Now the T2 gunships are coming, let's see if there's anti-air. Looks like just one T1 anti-air over here, so that's not gonna be enough, and RedViper should be able to kill all these mexes easily. And instead of Loyalists, I would go straight for Bricks, since Loyalist does not really have many chances against Harbingers. And Loyalists wouldn't even be that good against Obsidian, since Obsidians have quite nice damage and a lot of health, so I would go straight for Bricks, and really nowhere to send a Loyalists fast to raid something, since on the top he is defending, so nothing to raid there, and on the bottom he was not really able to push, and Slowpoke always had his enough units at this position, so no reason to build Loyalists in this game. He's still using the Corsairs, which is nice, but he should have used it earlier on the T2 power. Now looks like quite nice T3 spam for Slowpoke. And looks like pretty same eco for now for both players. These expansions got raided, this one by gunships, and he can still do some more damage. Maybe he could take out this T2 max. And on this side, Harbingers are being useful for now, but some bricks should arrive soon or not. He's still going for Loyalists, and actually quite nice group of Loyalists over here, and not enough Harbingers to defend it for now. There are 4 at this position. That might be enough with enough overcharges from the ACU, but he really needs to pay attention to that, since it would be enough Loyalists to kill the ACU if he does not have overcharges. And he can't really move these units away. Let's see if he sees it. And he actually does not see these units coming, since there's no radar. So maybe still counting on his mind reading skills, but that's not gonna apply for this game, and those 2 Harbingers will not be enough. So he will need a lot of overcharges, but there's no energy storage and he's still on upgrade, so now he might suspect something. All the air is here, it's time to cancel the upgrade, run and start overcharging. You can still take all the NGs in your base, or where you know you have a lot of NGs, and build energy storage, but combined with the Corsairs it was too much. So I guess he wouldn't be able to escape even with overcharges, since there was just too many air. He could get some veterans from the T3 units, but I'm not sure if that would be enough. So another point, if you lose air and you're not really building any, then don't let your ACU somewhere in the middle of the map, but always retreat near your base under the shield. So well played from RedViper, definitely still something to improve. I like killing the power, maybe some drops as well earlier. And Slowpoke should definitely scout. So that's gonna be all for this replay. If you wonder when I'm gonna do another cast, it really depends when I have a time and things to cast. So no promises, maybe it's gonna be soon, like tomorrow. So see you in another video.